for whatever reason, I'm trying to reconnect. So hopefully I'm connected. Today is Friday. It is our regular Lunch and Learn. And so today we're going to talk about, again, longevity. Okay, I love longevity. I love anti-aging. And so we're going to be talking about some different foods. Now, we talked about last week, we talked about foods that cut you off, okay, cause dementia, did not go well with aging. Today, we're going to talk about 6 different superfoods that are going to increase your cognitive ability because we want to live long and live strong. So we're going to be talking about that today. So there's been some studies, and the studies show that you can actually rewind your biological clock by more than 2 years in just 8 weeks by adjusting your diet and your lifestyle. Now, we have here in the clinic, I've showed you before, we've got something called a heart rate variability monitor. Now, part of the different screens, go back in the YouTube channel and find heart rate variability on my channel, and you'll see a real demonstration on how that works. But one of the screens that it has, it compares your biological age to your chronological age. And so I know as a human person, because when I do my HRV, heart rate variability test, my chronological age is twice my, however many years I've been on the earth, my chronological age is twice my biological age. That means my biological age is half of my birthdays. So this is really important. We know that we can test this. It tests telomeres and different things like that. And so what this report shows that in just 8 weeks, you can shave off 2 years of your aging. So you can be 2 years younger in 8 weeks if you do what we're talking about today. So that's kind of a cool thing. We want to do anything we can to be strong and to do the things that we need to do so that we can live the life that we want to live. So this study was published in Aging, and it found that foods rich in methylated adaptogens significantly reduced epigenetic age. In an 8-week randomized controlled trial, male participants aged 50 to 72 who adopted a methylation-focused diet experienced a decrease in epigenetic age of 2.04 years from baseline. Meanwhile, the control group aged forward in the 8 weeks 1.10 years, creating a gap of 3.14 years between the two groups. So that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you are dealing with just 8 weeks, okay, we've got how many weeks in a year? We've got 52 weeks. And so if you adapted this kind of a diet for the whole year, you could shave off quite a few years on your biological age, or what they call the epigenetic age. So just want to kind of give you a little refresher if you don't know. So genetics is what genes do we have, okay? What were we born with, our chromosomes and that kind of thing. Epigenetic is what do we do, how do we live our lifestyle in order to be able to either switch on genes or switch off genes, okay? And so what we want to do is do the kind of things that we can do to switch off bad genes. That means we eat right, we don't have drama in our life, we don't overdo any alcohol, we don't smoke, we don't do recreational drugs, okay? Because all of those things shorten our epigenetic life. So we want to do the things that increase our epigenetics and so that we live stronger. So what does that mean at the genetic level? Well, we're going to talk about that. Even after accounting for weight changes or baseline epigenetic ages, the results remain strong, indicating that these foods directly influence aging markers. So your epigenetic age reveals how old your genes appear, with DNA methylation patterns serving as a window into cellular aging. So nutritionists, Say Yingfang, I hope I say your name right, from Taiwan's Key Nutrition Consultation Center, okay, this is in Taiwan, said on this is a program here, Health 1+1, that methylation is like a toggle switch for your DNA. If you add a methyl group a gene's function might turn off. If you remove one, that function switches on. For instance, heavy methylation of a tumor suppressor genes could impair their ability to suppress for cancer. On the flip side, low methylation of inflammation genes can ramp up your body's inflammatory response. So we want to talk about methylation because too much or too little can spell trouble. Now, we do have a test. It's not a pretty box. It's not a sexy box at all. But this is a DNA sample collection kit. And what you do, they've got a little swab in there. You swab, your right cheek for for 1 minute, set your timer. Then you swab your other cheek for 1 minute. You put it back in the container. It's got a prepaid envelope that goes to a lab here in Austin, Texas. Now, the good thing about this lab is I know the doctor personally, and nobody else gets your DNA, just the doctor and you, okay? I'll get a report, but they have a test to ask if you have any gene SNPs on those methylation genes. So a lot of people, and if you're looking at Facebook and different things like that, you're going to have a lot of methylation groups and a lot of yik-yak about methylation. And people think that if you have a problem with methylation, the sky is falling and you're going to die. And that's just not quite the way it is. Yes, if you have problems with methylation, you're not going to detox properly. But it only takes the right kind of vitamins, and guess what? You bridge that gap, okay? So it's not the end of the world. I have one MTHFR gene that is one of my chromosomes is good, one of my chromosomes is not good. You know what? And I don't care because I take the right kind of vitamins and it bridges that gap. So it's good to know if you've got that gene SNP, just because it's good to know that. But it's not the end of the world. And if you're looking at social media, they're going to say if you've got methylation issues, it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. This is what the methylation cycle looks like. Some people call it the Krebs cycle. When you were in biology, you probably learned it as the Krebs cycle. And what this is the energy cycle of the cell. Now, it starts right here where my number 1 is, okay? And then I know it's a little bit backwards, you can Google it. But anyway, over here, you've got folate, and you've got methyl, and you've got all these kind of things. So what this means is, each one of those points on the circle, this component in the cell donates a carbon atom to the next one. When you've got methylation issues, you don't donate the carbons right. Okay, but you can fix that with methylated vitamins. So it's not, like I say, it's not the end of the world. So this is a diagram here to show you what the methylation cycle looks like. Now, the methylation cycle is a vital, non-stop biochemical process in every cell that acts as a master switch to control your DNA, to repair your cells, to regulate your mood, and to aid in detoxification. And this is what a lot of the social media yik-yak about is you can't detoxify if you've got a gene SNP in your methylation gene. Yes and no. If you take the right kind of vitamins, you can bridge that. So it's not the end of the world. You just have to change it. Okay. So the goal, the cycle produces SAMe, which is S-adenosimylmethathione, okay, the body's primary methyl donor that attaches methyl groups to DNA, proteins, and hormones to make them work. The cycle relies heavily on B vitamins, specifically methylfolate and methyl B12 and choline. So that's what it relies on. So guess what? We've got methylfolate plus, we've got methylation complete, which is both your B12 and your folate, which is methylated. And for those of you that don't like pills, we've got a methylated liquid 1. So it's easy. If you've got those genes and that's a problem for you, then you just take methylated B vitamins. It's not the end of the world. And so don't listen to people who tell you it's the end of the world, okay? If you've got a problem, if you've got a double SNP, then it's more of an issue, okay? So it's just good to have the right kind of vitamins. And this is why here in the clinic, we only have just so many vendors, because we vet them to make sure that their products are the products that your body can use, and your products, the products that we have, are the things that will do what we say they will do, because there's nothing any worse than buying something, being told that it's going to do XYZ, and you take it and it doesn't do XYZ. So, that's my little pet peeve there. So in the study, this particular study highlights 6 foods: turmeric, rosemary, garlic, berries, green tea, and oolong tea. Now, these foods are rich in polyphenol chemicals called methyl adaptogens. These compounds fine-tune your DNA methylation, keeping genes in a healthy state and lowering your disease risk. Each food also brings unique health benefits. So turmeric. Now, turmeric is the spice that we mostly have in Indian food, and especially curry, okay, has a lot of turmeric in it. However, turmeric is not very bioavailable. Now, if you eat it in your food every day, you're going to have a lot in your system because you're getting it every day. There are a lot of turmeric supplements out there that do not have a cofactor, which is black pepper, or it may be called black pepperine. You have to have that with the turmeric to make the turmeric bioavailable, to make it to where your body can use it. Now, turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. We do have it here at the clinic. We've got 2 different forms, and both of the forms have, guess what, the black pepper in there so that it works. It is a powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It supports your liver health, and it's really good for non-alcoholic liver disease. Now, when we say that it is a potent antioxidant, remember, we've got this little device right here. It's called a prism. Everybody can have this. You just put your finger over the light, okay? And then it goes around and around and around, and wherever you land tells you what your antioxidant score is. So we want you to be over here on this side in the blue and in the purple. We don't want you to be in the red, the orange, or the yellow, because if you are there, you have very small antioxidants, and antioxidants stop the oxidative stress that is in your body. So just as a review, what is oxidative stress? Remember how we can cut an apple. We open up that apple, and it's nice, bright white, right? You take a bite, you sit it down, 5 minutes later you go back and it's already turning brown, right? That's oxidative stress. Whenever you cut into an avocado and it's beautiful and it's green, and you leave it on the counter for about 15 minutes while you're doing something else, it's going to start to turn brown. That's oxidative stress. So we want to have these powerful antioxidants in our diet so that we can stop the oxidative stress, because it's the oxidative stress that turns on those bad genes and causes us to enter into a disease process. Now, berries is the second food group. They are loaded with anthocyanins, vitamin C. Berries boast exceptional antioxidant power. Bilberries, in particular, enhance your eye health, while grapes enhance your cardiovascular health. Cranberries are good for urinary tract infections and to keep your urinary tract healthy. So these are all berries that we do want to have. They have high levels of antioxidants in there, which are your anti-aging chemicals, okay? Garlic. Now, I love garlic. I love to cook with garlic, but garlic is an antibacterial, it's an antiviral, and it is an immune regulator, okay? That means if your immune system is not up to snuff, it will help it, okay? And so this is something that's very, very important. We have wild garlic here, especially for our cardiovascular people. It strengthens your overall health, and it helps manage conditions such as small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. And we do know that when we've got bacterial overgrowth in the gut, that we don't have anything working properly. And so this is really, really important. Rosemary. Rosemary is very, very rich in a powerful antioxidant. It has an anti-inflammatory compound that can relieve headaches, stomach pain, nervous tension. it can improve your mood and your memory. Green tea and oolong tea, both are rich in catechins and polyphenols, providing robust antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. Now, these 6 superfoods, right, are things that you can add to your diet. Everybody can cook with garlic. Everybody can cook with rosemary. Everybody can grab berries and that kind of thing. And, turmeric, like I say, it's a spice. It's not going to be that bioavailable, but you have it every day over a period of time, then it's going to work for you. And then, of course, the superfruits. So I want to show you, because I love this. This is called Vital LF. I love this. It comes in a pill, but it also comes in a powder. The powder has more stuff in it because you can only put so much stuff in a pill. But this is a superfood mix. So if you look at the ingredients in here, you're going to see that the ingredients encompass most of those superfoods that are on this list. So if you're not going to want to be bothered about making a grocery list and that kind of thing, if you have something like this in your cabinet, you put a scoop, you can put it in apple juice, or you can put it in water, whatever flavor you like, then this is something where you're going to get all of your superfoods. Now, back in the day, we're talking 40 years ago, when I first tried green powder is what they call it, green drink, green powder. When I first tried it, it didn't taste all that bad. It didn't taste good, but it was gritty. It was like drinking sand. Not my favorite thing. This dissolves, okay, and when you drink it, it doesn't taste like sand. Now, if you put it in a container, you take a couple of sips and you let it sit for, 5 to 10 minutes or something like that, the grains are going to fall out of solution. They're going to particulate down. But if you just shake it, give it a shake, it stirs it back up, and there's no texture, and the taste is really pretty good. And so if you're looking for a really good superfood, superfruit, then this is a really good product for you, and it helps with your methylation. So in addition, right, there's some other foods. Beets. Now, I didn't bring beets. We have beets out here. They're in a powdered form, and they taste really, really good. And a lot of our cardiovascular people like that because it has nitric oxide in it, which makes your veins a little bit more pliable, which helps with blood pressure. So your beets are very high in betaine and in folate. They act as methyl donors, supporting the methylation regulation in the body. So if you look at the chart again, you've got folate here, and you have betaine down here, okay, in the diet portion. And you've also got choline. Okay, so all of this works together. So if you have the break in your DNA, in the methylation SNPs, then you're going to want to have these foods in your diet because it gives you that missing component. And this is why I say this is not the end of the world. Is it an issue? Yes, it can be an issue, but it's a real simple fix to fix it. So beets are rich in the betaine and the folate. Quinoa. Now, quinoa, similar to beets, is a source of betaine, which provides methyl groups to support the healthy methylation cycle. Now, if you don't know what quinoa is a grain, all right? It looks similar to grits. It's like a round grain, but it is a protein. It's not a carb, all right? And so I like quinoa. Just plug for the Union Kitchen, because the Union Kitchen does a quinoa cake. They fry it, and it's absolutely delicious. But it is a source of protein, but it also has that betaine in it that serves as a methyl donor. So if you have those SNPs, maybe that's why I feel so good when I eat one of those, because it has a methyl donor there. Cruciferous vegetables. These are your broccoli, your kale, your bok choy, your cabbage. They contain high levels of sulforaphane, which influences methylation patterns by regulating your DNA methyltransferases, which is a large family of enzymes that support liver detoxification. So if you like those cruciferous vegetables and you add them into your diet all the time, then this is really good for you it is another way to bridge that gap if you have that. And like I say, it's not the end of the world if you do, but your body is going to be healthier if you bridge that gap so that you have your methylation going on in the right way. So spinach is a leafy green. It is high also in folate, and it contains magnesium and B6, which is also, both of those are essential nutrients for the methylation cycle. Additionally, it provides antioxidants that protect the DNA from external damage. Lots of help here for you. Your avocados, right? We talked about avocados and the oxidative stress, but avocados, besides being rich in folate and vitamin B6, avocados contain healthy fatty acids that support your brain function and methylation regulation, as well as they have high levels of glutathione, which aids in liver detoxification. So you see, Hippocrates said years ago, I think he was alive 400 years before Jesus Christ. Okay, somebody's going to fact check me on that, I'm sure. But he is a long time person, right? And he said that your food should be your medicine and your medicine should be your food. And so when we're looking at this food and we're looking at the components in the food and how it can help us, then we need to make sure that we add these to our diet, because food is medicine. And if you have good food and you're fueling the body the way you need to fuel your body, guess what? You're not going to need medicine because you're getting all the things that you need from your food. So we talked last week about dementia and those 7 foods that really edged you toward dementia because it was all these sugars. Avocados, I don't know anybody who doesn't like an avocado. Avocado helps with your brain function, and it helps with your liver detoxification as well. And mushrooms, and I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are very good. They're very good for cognition. They are packed with vitamins, and they also contain antioxidants that protect the methyltransferases from oxidative damage. So all of this is really, really important. So beyond food, there are also herbs that possess methylation regulating anti-aging properties, such as rhodiola rosea and ashwagandha. Now, I know out there in social media land, ashwagandha is like hyped up really, really big. The good thing about ashwagandha is it is an adaptogen. It's pretty much the master adaptogen, so it will do a lot of things. But what quality of ashwagandha are you getting? Because if you get a poor quality one, you're not going to be getting just a whole lot that's going to help you. So just kind of make sure, I'm not saying don't get ashwagandha, I'm just saying there's a lot of it out there that's not very good quality, and it's not going to do whatever you need to do. The report says you need to consult with your doctor, your medical doctor, because some of these herbs can interfere with medications. I'm not sure exactly, because we have used these herbs all throughout the clinic and we haven't ever seen any kind of interaction. But if you take medication, you definitely need to do your due diligence on that, because we don't want you hurt. Now, the rhodiola balances your stress hormones, and who doesn't need that today? It supports your mitochondrial methylation activity, and it may also protect your brain tissue from oxidative stress. Clinical trials have shown that rhodiola can help alleviate physical and mental systems associated with stress and overexertion. Now, ashwagandha, again, may influence the methylation pathway by modulating the stress response. So alongside eating these beneficial foods, steering clear of habits that hasten aging is just as vital. So what is one of the most worst practices you can do is sleep deprivation. Okay, I know a lot of people, especially teenagers, who do not sleep well. They do not sleep in the right kind of cycle, and they go to bed too late, and they sleep all through the day, and it's just not good. Your body is pre-designed to repair between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. So if you're not sleeping during that time, you've got some issues. And I know there are shift workers and different things, and so you've got to take good vitamins to be able to overcome that. All right. Regularly staying up or insufficient sleep increases oxidative stress, which damages your DNA, your proteins, speeding up the aging process. Chronic stress also contributes to bodily damage and accelerates the aging process. Lack of exercise and overexertion both lead to increased oxidative stress and promoting premature aging. We definitely want you to avoid sugar. You got that last week when we did our program last week, and you want to choose your complex carbohydrates, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, your asparagus, your tomatoes. You want to choose those instead of your bread and your pasta and that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that we have the good choices. Now, me, I do have that methylation SNP, right? I do practice intermittent fasting every day, okay? It may not be a good deal. It may be a good deal. It's just a practice that I have developed. But I make sure that I do eat good food. None of my food is not junk food. But I also make sure that I have these vitamins every day, twice a day, in order to make sure that all of my antioxidants are covered. This company, Pharmanex, this Prism, Pharmanex, right? They crafted vitamins that are full of antioxidants. They're made from fruits and vegetables. And there's enough in this packet. This is for seniors, so my age. If you're younger, you don't have to take this many. But if you're a senior, this is all the nutrition that you need for 12 hours. So you take a package in the morning, you take a package in the evening so that you've got all of your nutrients so that when you put your finger on the Prism, you're in the blue or the purple because you have covered all of your antioxidant needs. If you cover your antioxidant needs, your oxidative stress is going to be little to none because antioxidants, right, takes care of the oxidative stress. So there's tons of things that we can do. We don't have to get old. We don't have to get decrepit. We don't have to do all those kind of things, right? But we have to make good choices. We have to supplement appropriately. And the thing that I like about these and other ones like these is that they are guaranteed to move you on the Prism within 90 days. So a lot of people take a lot of vitamins. They come in with baskets full of vitamins and supplements and different things, and they test very poorly. And so they're very frustrated that they've spent all this money on doing all these things and, nothing's working. When you're doing the Pharmanex vitamins, you have a guarantee that you will move forward on the scale. And if you don't, they will refund your money. And in the however many years they've been doing this, I think 1998, they have never had to refund one person because it works every single time with every single person. And so this is why we only have top quality vitamins and supplements in the clinic, because we know that oxidative stress is real. We know that cognitive decline is real. We know that chronic disease is on the increase. And if you can supplement appropriately and have the lifestyle changes too, have the lifestyle changes. That's not, you can't just supplement. You've got to have the lifestyle changes too. But if you do that, then you stop the oxidative stress. And if you stop the oxidative stress, then you're going to live long and you're going to live strong. And that's what I want. That's what I want for me. That's what I want for you. And that's why we are here at Abundant Health and Wellness. My husband asked me the other day, he goes, do people know where you are? And I'm thinking, well, I think they do. But we are in downtown Humble, Texas, just north of Houston, Texas. And so if you're in this area, then you can come in. We can do a little scan, see where you are. We can do a bigger evaluation if you need that. And it would be my absolute pleasure to help you to regain your health. It is a weekend. Lots of things to think about, lots of things to consider with lifestyle choices and supplementation. And knowledge is power. So when you know where you are in the Prism, you know what you need to do in order to regain your health. I do this. I do other things, but I do this as well. So it is the weekend. Relax, refresh, restore, all the things. Okay, and I will see you next week.